Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here at Hampton Court Palace, here just outside in London. And we're here actually for Visit Britain event. And I'm here with Nicola Andrews, who's head of historic palaces. And we're going to talk to her specifically, because you have many, we'll talk about that, about Hampton Court. Now, I've been lucky enough that I've been here a few times, and I really enjoy this palace. But this is the first time we spent a lot of significant time. We had lunch here. I mean, this is fun. And now we're in the various palace rooms doing interviews and all kinds of things. You're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Nicola, first of all, where are we now?
We're in the King's Drawing Room at Hampton Court Palace. It's a very grand room, and just off camera to my left is the throne of William III. It's an amazing...
I was trying to convince you to sit in the throne, but they frown on that.
I would get in a lot of trouble if I sat on the throne. Beautiful though it is, it's very old and very fragile. But we've been very privileged, haven't we? You're quite right. We just ate lunch in the Great Hall here. Now, Hampton Court was built about 500 years ago. So it's very famous for being the home of Henry VIII and also his daughter Elizabeth I, who was one of our longest reigning monarchs. And you and I got to sit in the Great Hall this afternoon, surrounded by the tapestries that Henry bought that have hung there ever since. They're 40% silver and gold thread. They're absolutely incredible. But the palace itself is known to many people, actually. I mean, James and I joked before we start that I should turn the camera on him because actually he's been here so many times.
And then, of course, you have seen this palace in countless different movies and TV shows and everything else. Of course, pretty much the whole theme of this Visit Britain promotion for a coming year is the connections that we see in movies and TV. And Hampton Court is really an amazing place. As we were walking around, they were pointing out this was the place where this happened. Yeah. I kind of lost track of all the different things that they've done here, right? You're
absolutely right. And this is why Visit Britain is launching a new campaign called Starring Great Britain, because of the places that have starred so many films. So here at Hampton Court, for example, most recently, we've had Wolf Hall, Mirror and the Light has been filmed here. And the brilliant thing about things like that being filmed are this is the place where history happened. So as Cromwell was filmed walking through the Great Hall where we just had lunch, that's where he actually walked. That's where those discussions happened. Wow. The Favourite, starring Olivia Colman, all about Queen Anne, was also filmed here. And there was a brilliant moment during filming where Olivia was shouting out of the window as Queen Anne, dressed as Queen Anne. We had visitors around saying, "Get off the grass!"
There's still grass there.
There's still grass there, so I think visitors get very shocked. We've also had Bridgerton. So a lot of Regency filming comes here. And of course, Bridgerton is popular the world over. All sorts of quirky things happened there. So they brought a zebra along one day. So we had a zebra in the gardens for filming. But there's all sorts of popular films as well. Mamma Mia, Here We Come Again was filmed here. And also, I think Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. So all sorts of things.
So current and final, I mean, I was just the other day, I was watching A Man for All Seasons, of course, takes place in bit here. If people are always going onto boats on the Thames and coming down here or going back up to, yeah. So that was an amazing movie too. But that's an older one. But yeah, you get all these connections, and it is amazing and we're looking, we're amazing portrait of over this side. It's such a wonder. How many rooms are in this palace?
Oh gosh, there's over 1,000, and it's not just rooms in the building. What James and I are lucky enough to be able to see is the beautiful privy garden that's out there. We've got a huge history in gardens as well as houses. So Queen Mary, for example, was hugely passionate about flowers and she collected plants. And she was instrumental to what was called tulip fever in the UK, where they brought tulip bulbs at the time would be the price of a cost of a car nowadays. And we have a spectacular tulip festival in the spring as well, where the whole palace gardens are filled with tulips and throughout all the courtyards as well.
I'd love to see it. It's actually gorgeous now, but I'd love to see it in full bloom, so to speak.
You'll have to come back again, James.
I'll be back. Don't worry about that. Now, we go out to about 127,000 travel advisors in the United States, and if they want to send their clients here, how would you recommend they contact your group and how to arrange a visit and maybe some special stuff.
Yeah. The best thing to do is to go onto our website and get in touch with our travel trade and groups organising team, because they have the ability to organise general admission if you want to come as a group independently, but also all sorts of special tours, behind the scenes tours early in the morning before other visitors come in. So there's a whole wealth of opportunities across the 6 places that we look after. So we look after Hampton Court Palace that we're in at the moment, but we also look after the Tower of London in the centre of the city. Banqueting House on White.
The other place you didn't want to go to. Sir Tom, he ended up there in the end, but here this was the palace, and then there was the tower, which was the prison, right?
That's right. If you were one of Henry's wives and you were unlucky enough to lose your head, it was a tower where you would have lost it. It's an amazing experience.
No, I've been there, and that's where obviously the crown jewels and everything else are there. Yeah. So what are the other places that you have?
So there's a place called Banqueting House, which is the last part of Whitehall Palace, which again is almost opposite 10 Downing Street in the centre of town, and Kew Palace, which is within Kew Gardens. Kensington Palace, of course, which is famous for being the home of Princess Diana, and Hillsborough Castle and Gardens in Northern Ireland, which is an absolute gem. It's the King's home when he travels to Northern Ireland, but it's open to visitors to come in.
That one I just heard about recently, and I didn't realize that was one of your collection.
Yes, it is, and it's well worth. Ireland and Northern Ireland are so worth a visit if you haven't been before.
I've been to Ireland, but I've never been to Northern Ireland, so that's kind of...
We're going to have to get you over there. You're going to have to come and see Hillsborough, because you will lose your heart to that.
That's what everybody's telling me that, and I got to go. Now, what is the URL for your website?
It's www.hrp.org.uk, and all the information that you would want to get on group travel, on how to book and get in touch with our team is on there.
Okay, so you go to that one and learn all about this, and you'll come here and really try to experience this place. Is awesome, and obviously you have all these other royal palaces around here. We actually had a tea in the Orangery in Kensington Garden. It was gorgeous, a wonderful tea. We had a walking and tour all around. I want to thank you for taking the time to teach us a little bit about this incredible palace. I'm going to be back. You just can't keep. I've probably about 4 or 5 times now over the course of my life, and every time I find something new.
James, you're always welcome, and so are all of you. So we look forward to seeing you soon.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.